This is one for Jonathan Creek, I believe. But then again, it's one for common sense. It has been said that his filthiness, that worthless food eater, the Duke of Edinburgh, was taken to hospital in London for treatment in relation to pre-existing condition. Nobody's ever said what that condition is. Now, we still maintain that this worthless food eater, okay, this Greek, is dead. Outrageous, people are saying, outrageous. No, it's not outrageous. It is outrageous that people are not using their common sense and not thinking. That's outrageous. No wonder the country is in the state it's in, when people do not think, do not question things, just accept them. Now then, every so often it has to be impressed upon us that this worthless food eater is alive. We never see him. Oh, we get stories. This is another story. Never see him. We never see him. You know, we had an accident, so-called accident, a short while ago. This worthless food eater was driving along on his own, which is not the order of things, but we'll put that to one side. He's driving along and he gets hit by a family Kia. Now he's driving a vehicle that weighs tons. It's bulletproof, bombproof, blastproof, weighs tons, and a Kia takes the vehicle out, hits this well-armoured vehicle, flips it on its roof to its side and back onto its roof and to its side and into a ditch. That's how desperate the government is to keep this man alive, to pen a false, fake story. He is never seen at the scene. Nobody's taken any cell phone or mobile phone footage. Oh, the first thing you do is, oh my goodness, that's that worthless food eater. Hey Jim, get your phone out. Oh, sadly, I've flipped this, like tank-like vehicle over the road. Whoa! Hey, have we got any damage to our car? Oh, very little. Nobody has ever seen him at the scene. They've never seen him in the hospital. They've never seen him anywhere after that. And it's the same here. Nobody's seen him. And of course, when this story plays through that he's maybe come out of hospital, we don't know what the heck is going on with this story. But let's say they have him coming out of hospital. Oh, me. Coming out of hospital. You won't see him on the steps unless they put a double. But it's highly unlikely. I don't understand why they haven't used his double. Maybe it's protocol. You see, as I said at the time of the story, and it is but a story, of the accident with the car, okay? that this was staged in order to make it appear that this worthless food eater was still alive. That probably people have been questioning, really, is this man alive? So they staged this story. Okay. Isn't it strange that come the cenotaph, he doesn't turn up, he's not in a bath chair or anything like that, he just doesn't turn up, he's absent. Okay? And I said at the time, I've got it on video, you can download it, you can whatever view it, whatever you like. I said at the time that the excuse would be that he was ill, too ill to attend. That would be it. And then to stop the rumours afterwards, they brought about this fake story. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Far from it. I'm a common sense person. And there are few of us about these days. People just simply accept everything that the news tells them. Just as fast food outlets grow and grow and grow and grow, because that's what people want. They want something easy. Easy to hand, easy to shove down the throat. And it's the same with the news. It's easy to hand, and it feeds them lies, and they don't care. The girl down the road there, or girls down the road, are sitting there with 2-year-olds stuffing fat down their guts. They don't care. They don't care if the child bloats. They don't care. This is a generation that doesn't care for their health, their mental health, their intellectual health, and their physical health. It's a generation that's given up on themselves. It's just lust, isn't it? Lusting after things. Temporary pleasures. Stuck on mobile phones. Stuck on games. Stuck on anything but reality. Anything. Everything away from reality. This here is reality, and therefore it will be rejected by these persons. Any common sense person, man, woman, child, youth, will question, where is this worthless food eater? Shall we get him on the steps of the hospital when he comes out? No, unless we get a double, but that's highly unlikely, considering his double hasn't been featured of recent times. Okay. Do we have the helicopter that brought him here featured? No, well, the press might have and the media might have missed that and just been told when he was in hospital that he was in hospital. Okay. Well, there's no evidence, it's just a story. Just a story. In the court of common sense, it's thrown out. Bring us evidence. Let's play this.
Very short statement that's just been released by Buckingham Palace. I will read that to you in full now. Mm-hmm. It says the Duke of Edinburgh travelled from Norfolk this morning to the King Edward VII Hospital in London for observation and treatment in relation to a pre-existing condition. The admission is a precautionary measure on the advice of His Royal Highness's doctor. Now, it's worth reminding ourselves that Prince Philip is 98 years old. He's been spending a great deal of time recently in Norfolk, staying at Wood Farm, enjoying retirement. It was in 2017 that he announced that he was stepping back from public duties. Of course, over the years, people have talked a great deal about his illnesses. We know that back in 2012, during the time of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee pageant. He was admitted to hospital then with a bladder infection in 2000.
See how they speak it up, to pad it out, to give the impression that this man is intrinsically ill. All of a sudden, he's become ill. But according to his boys here, these liars, oh, it's been with him 4 years.
13, he had abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
He also in 2011 suffered from chest pains. Of course, within this statement, the palace at the moment are not going into any details about what exactly he's being treated for in hospital at the moment. They're simply saying this is a pre-existing condition. He was also in 2017 admitted to hospital. Again, at the time, people talked about him suffering from a pre-existing condition, and at the time, many people were talking about whether or not that was related to the bladder infection that we've seen that had flared up over a number of different occasions, over a number of different years. The last time that...
Honestly, they try to back up this fake story by lying, giving a lying medical history and stories behind it.
We saw the Duke of Edinburgh with his family was earlier this year, back in May, when he attended the wedding of Lady Gabriella Windsor. He looked very sprightly, he looked very well, he was seen laughing and joking.
Yeah, that is probably his double. Because for that wedding, it doesn't matter. But where was he when Trump came? Oh, he was in retirement. Well, let me say this. The greatest event and the most important event, the most serious event, is Donald Trump, the President of the United States, greeting and meeting the Queen. The Duke of Edinburgh would have been there, retirement or not. The wedding was nothing. But he would have attended, even to shake the hand of Donald Trump, to meet the Donald Trump, the greatest president that the United States has ever had. But no, he didn't, because he wasn't around. Retirement, he has indeed gone into retirement. He's retired from this earth, this world. He is no more. He has ceased to be.
With Prince Harry, he seemed to be in very fine form. But of course, at 98 years old, it is inevitable that there will always be speculation about his health, especially as back in 2017, it was then he made that announcement that he was going to step back from public life, that he was stepping back from public duties. I think he is a very proud man, who did not want to grow any older in public. But
well, two things. He's a lazy so-and-so, a worthless food eater. He produces nothing good for society. And he doesn't want to grow old in public. He's haggard. And even his standing is haggard. Mind you, he has to be in order to reflect this worthless food eater.
But just to reconfirm, this statement that we've had from Buckingham Palace just in the last few moments or so, talking about how the Duke of Edinburgh has travelled from Norfolk this morning to the King Edward VII Hospital in London for observation and treatment in relation to a pre-existing condition. They go on to say the admission is a precautionary measure on the advice of His Royal Highness's doctor. It's also worth adding that only this morning the Queen travelled from Buckingham Palace up to Norfolk. Recently, we've seen pictures of her getting off the train in King's Lynn. So in some ways, that may show that the palace are maybe not panicking about this, the fact that he's been taken here to London, but the Queen at the moment is currently in Sandringham, not with her husband.
That's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? She's in King's Lynn, but now she's in Sandringham, Buckinghamshire.
The fact that he's been taken here to London,
the
Queen at the moment is currently in Sandringham, not with her husband.
So she's currently in Sandringham, not with her husband. Right.
Yeah.
No, hang on a minute. I'm going far back.
From Buckingham Palace up to Norfolk. Recently,
Right. She's gone from Buckingham Palace up to Norfolk.
adding that only this morning the Queen travelled from Buckingham Palace up to Norfolk.
So this morning she travelled from Buckingham Palace up to Norfolk. We've got the footage of that, haven't we?
Recently, we've seen pictures of her getting off the train in King's Lynn. So in some ways, that may show that the palace are maybe not panicking about this, the fact that he's been taken here to London, but the Queen at the moment is currently in Sandringham.
So she's in Sandringham, not Norfolk.
Not with her husband.
Well, the point being is, two things as we close. Why isn't he in Buckingham Palace? Huh? You'd want your husband with you, wouldn't you? Even if he's in retirement. Huh? And she doesn't want to visit him in hospital. Huh? Because the whole thing is simply a Jonathan Creek story.